Okay, good morning, everybody, and thank you for coming to today's Restaurant News Networking Group, Chapter 2. We are a group of vendors in the food service industry who are here to help each other and also to help restaurateurs who might have a problem, might have a question. You are welcome to join us here or join us to view the meeting on YouTube, and our YouTube channel is Today's Restaurant. And if you'd like to come to a meeting, please give us a call at 561-620-8888 or go to our website, trnusa.com. And we have Neil, I'm sorry, Ron, you were not at this group before, right? So you're new here?
I'm new to this group, yeah.
Okay, so we have
the other group.
Ron and Neil. I'm going to start out with Neil. If you would just give us a quick who you are, what you do, where you are, and we'll double back later after you see what we do.
Okay, great. Yeah, Neil Morgan. I'm with Comcast Business. Been with the Comcast for like 28 years. So as I always say, I'm definitely going to heaven after this. And primarily business services. So, for example, you know, if somebody's opening a restaurant or any business, I would go in, sell internet, phone services, television, security, Wi-Fi. Fiber is the new big thing. Obviously, we do a lot of stuff with restaurants. We were opening, you know, they're going to need me to go in and do pre-evaluations of what they might need, that type of thing. So it's a full service business solution that we offer at Comcast. And, you know, I'm actually the longest serving rep in Florida. I'm based in, well, basically the offices are Fort Escape because I'm always on the road. But officially, I'm based in Palm Beach Gardens.
Does Comcast also do security?
Yeah, we actually offer a complimentary product called Security Edge, which is the protective software. But also for like a lot of restaurants, there's a thing called Wi-Fi Pro, which is a management tool for people's Wi-Fi, so that the restaurants can manage the bandwidth and sort of make it secure for the customers, for example. So there's a few different things that we offer. Yeah, we don't offer alarms or cameras though.
Okay, all right, thank you, welcome.
Thank you, gentlemen.
And Ron, why don't you tell us what you do and who you are and where you are?
Okay, I'm Ron Weber. I'm in the Chicagoland area. I'm representing a company called MindLab, and I'm working on a product that I represent called Silver Saver. It is a device that sits on 32 and 44 round garbage cans for restaurants to help them save money by avoiding their staff throwing away silverware. It uses metal detection technology. So it's the first thing really on the market that offers this opportunity for restaurateurs to save money.
When even looking at your literature yesterday, I have a question. Is if I'm in the kitchen and I'm dumping a tray and there's flatware on the tray, will that generate an alarm to somebody, or how does that work?
Right. So the way that it works, when the staff clears the table and brings back the plates and silverware and food, it goes into a tray on top of the garbage can, and an alarm sets off, notifying that there's something that has silver or metal in it. And at that point, they take it out, and then there is a handle that after the alarm goes off, that you dump the excess.
That alarm is a audible alarm, or is it? You know what I'm trying to understand Is
Right,
it's
yeah,
not
so the
like
way,
if I'm the manager, I'm not getting a text that's telling me there's
right, so
Flower.
it's audible.
okay. So everybody in the kitchen knows.
Right, they sure do.
Okay, good. Thank you. Welcome. So I think what I'll do is we'll go around the room so that everybody gets to know everybody who's here, and hopefully some of the other guys will show up and girls. Chris, why don't you start us off? I know it looks beautiful weather behind you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hard to believe we had the parting of the seas last night here in Vidalia, Georgia. Chris Kaufman, all-star talent for restaurants, specifically career positions. CHRIS, Kaufman and Company. CHRIS is an acronym for clubs, hotels, restaurants, institutions, and sales. Those are the 5 disciplines where we have made placements since Monday, April 6, 1981. And we work throughout the United States. Most of the work is Southeastern United States. Started my recruiting career in Charlotte, North Carolina, moved to the company with the guy that owned it up to McLean, Virginia, and then back down to Atlanta, where I was until 2010 when I relocated my recruiting business to Vidalia, Georgia. But through the wisdom and beauty of technology, my business basically can be done anywhere there's an internet connection. And there's a lot of those around there. Chris Kaufman, the only president Chris Kaufman and Company has ever had. And rather proud to say that, even though there's been some stockholder revolts. So most recently in 2022, we placed a chef in Jensen Beach, Florida. Placed several chefs around Atlanta.
What restaurant was that? You know?
Yes, it was the Dolphin Bar and Shrimp House.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Jensen
It's right on the intercoastal. That's a good place. Yep.
Good place.
Not far from
Customer of mine
Pirates
as well.
Cove. Yeah. Good place.
And wonderful people to deal with,
And
and professional business folks.
yeah, I know exactly what that is. Yeah.
And they have 2 other restaurants, Conky Joe's.
Oh, that's the biggest. That's a great place. That's the oldest restaurant, maybe not in Florida, but in South Florida.
Really?
That's the oldest restaurant. I heard it was the oldest in the state of Florida. Conky Joe's is fantastic.
Yeah.
Big place. Yeah.
Good folks, good people. And so Chris Kaufman, and it's very easy to remember our telephone number because we talk about presenting all-star talent to our client companies. So if you can remember 404, which is the main area code for Atlanta, 404 All-Star, which is 404-255-7827. And that's the news as far as it is relevant for today. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you. Joe, why don't you follow that up? Good luck. Go ahead, Joe. Give us your elevator speech and tell us how we can reach you. Joe, you there?
Yeah,
No.
I'm sorry. You got to forgive me today. My hearing aid is on the blink.
Oh.
So I'm at half capacity.
That's why it is.
So I'm reading everybody's lips. Anyway, Joe Cregan with Card Payment Services here in Fort Lauderdale. We support about, last count, about between 750 accounts throughout the country, with about 50 of them in Florida, with the point of sale and payment processing. We focus in Florida a lot on restaurants. We probably, out of 700 accounts, probably about 300 to 400 of them almost are restaurants. And we provide Fiserv, which used to be First Data payment processing. We sell integrated POS systems from 2 companies, Clover, which is part of Fiserv, and a software company out of California called Adello. So we provide POS systems that not only process payments and take orders, but send them to the kitchens, to the screens, control the labor costs, control the food costs, control the inventory, all that good stuff. And we are also a reseller for ADP payroll. Since we clock the employees in and out on our system, we may as well process their payroll as well as their payment. So I've been doing this a long time. I've worked for Microsystems before it was acquired by Oracle, for NCR. So I've been doing it for years. And probably since I moved to Florida in 89, 90, we probably set up over, for the companies I worked with, 7,000 accounts. But my company's been around since 2016. And like I said, we've got about 4 employees, about 75 independent sales agents, 1099 agents across the country. And we're processing about 15 million a month, between 15 to 18 million a month, primarily 40% with restaurants. Thanks.
Good. Thank you. Let me say that again. Thank you.
Yeah, I got you. It's bad, man. It's like your battery's dead. More than one battery's dead. And then what's even worse, I ran out of hairspray this morning. And I usually go in my wife's store and look for something that she has. And I opened this, and I didn't have my glasses on, and my wife's from Colombia, and Colombian women take very good care of themselves, and they buy everything. And I go, and it looks like, it says curl spray. I thought it was curl spray. So I put it on me, it looks fine. Then I look at the bottle again, it says curb spray with a picture of your rear end on it. It's really a spray to put on you. Keep your rear end looking good.
Great.
It's working.
She told you that, but you didn't hear her.
Exactly. Yeah, I gotta get that fixed. Anyway,
Hey,
I
thank
think
you.
I'm getting off to a good start.
Yeah, I can see we set the tone for this meeting right off the bat, which is fine. Rick, good morning.
Hey, good morning from Alabama. I have a new job. As a pun is, I'm the center of tourism. I'll tell you that we can have all 4 seasons in 1 week. We have snow today. We had tornadoes yesterday. We had sunny and 70 on Monday, and we had snow last weekend. So if y'all want to come to Alabama, I can't tell you how to dress. Just prepare.
That's funny.
So, but on a lighter note, my name is Rick Israel. I am the president, CEO of South Florida Affiliate Health Insurers. I can legally say that now because I received my information from the state of Florida, but I am listed as president finally. So, which is a nice thing. What we focus on is we help companies where individuals are coming off their group plan and going into Medicare, help them find the right plan for their needs at the time of their retirement. We also will help individual business owners if they need assistance with health insurance through the marketplace. We've got Blue Cross, Ambetter, Oscar, lots of them. We have several companies, but so that's what we do. We are based in 4 states. We have main office is here in Huntsville, Alabama, but we cover Alabama, Florida, Georgia, and Tennessee. So if anybody is in Florida, you can reach me and I'll say the number, but I know that it's going to be given to you all. It's 256-698-8774. Appreciate the time.
Okay, thank you. Brian, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I'm Brian with Rogue Financial Group. We're a company that's been around for several years. And what we do is we focus on primarily on the hospitality, but we also work with other industries like logistics, iron construction, convenience stores. And what we do is we provide commercial financing for whether it's a startup or an existing business looking to finance equipment. Could be from a small project to a large project. And again, it's Brian with Rogue Financial Group. I can be reached at 404-723-7222.
Okay, thank you. Neil, want to circle back to you if you forgot something, and tell us how we can get in touch with you.
Yeah, thank you again. Mobile for me is area code 772-539-2261. 772-539-2261. And yeah, delighted to be here. Great group, good laugh. That's one of the best networking groups I've been in terms of having a good laugh, right way to start the day. And yeah, if I can be an ally or an asset to anybody, please reach out to me. I'm sure you'll forward on the email addresses, Howard, at some point as well. So people are glad to reach out to me on that as well, please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And Ron, you want to add anything? And if not, how can we get in touch with you?
You can get in touch with me either at my email, or you can call me on my cell phone. It's ron.weber@minelab.com, 630-596-6527.
I'm happy and proud to say that Ron has entrusted us to do some marketing for him, and we're working on his. We're working on your ad right now, actually, and hope to have that today. We did the e-blast. We put that together and waiting for Ron to take a look at it and approve it. But be ready to see information from Ron's company coming to you.
Right. Yeah. Incidentally, just FYI, so the company I work for is called Codan, and the division I work for is called MindLab. We're a public company based in Australia, and this is our first venture into the hospitality industry. Our main core products are metal detectors and gold detectors and countermining and communication division. So this is something new for them. They brought me on about 1.5 years ago to launch this product, and I've been navigating it successfully in 2022, throughout the US. And I'm looking for, opportunities to network and utilize, trade magazines and better ways to promote our product, throughout the industry.
I looked at your website, MindLab website, and it's all the metal detectors. When we first moved to Florida about 30 some odd years ago, I bought a metal detector to walk on the beach and try to find people's rings and money, etc. So I took my son, who was about 7 years old at the time, 5 years old actually, and his mother, and we were sitting on the beach, and I was walking around trying to find some stuff on the beach. And after about 1.5 hours of finding bottle caps and pull tabs from beer cans, he got fed up with it and tired of it. So he took a couple of quarters and a couple of nickels and threw them in the sand right near where we were sitting, so that when I came back, I was able to find those coins, and so the day was a success.
Yeah, well, it's a hobby for a lot. So we do commercial and residential, and recreational on this. So there's people all across the world that are utilizing our product. I mean, that division in itself does a few $100 million a year. I never knew this industry existed because my background has always been in restaurants and food service and on the service end. So it was all new to me, but they're using this technology that they've perfected for metal detection, bringing it to the restaurant industry. And we've been placing these all across the country and saving restaurants a ton of money. So it's successful. But as far as walking on a beach, be hard for me to do. I'd go out of my mind, walking with a metal detector looking for stuff. But the really good ones that perfect the art on it, they find some really nice coins and treasures in selected areas.
Hey, I have a friend that I work with up in New Hampshire at Kingswood, and he would go twice a year over to outside of England, and there's these farms that allow you to go and do metal detecting, and you come back with some treasures like coins from from the 1400s. I mean, there was some really interesting stuff they would come back with.
Yeah, it's a whole different subculture of people that do this. A lot of people just do it for recreational, but there's a lot of people that really perfect the art and use some higher end detectors that we manufacture that you really find some treasures.
Mhm.
I found a whole bunch of flatware on the beach. Kidding,
Well,
kidding.
well, that's good to hear. Then we know our product is working. And we know that people only eat in only restaurants, so we can diversify.
Hey, Ron, there's, up here in Huntsville, there's a lot of construction going on, building a lot of apartments, new housing and such and so forth. And, so they're tearing down all these trees. We were driving by a job site and you saw about 20 people out there with metal detectors. Just searching for, I don't know if they were searching for something that would stop the finishing of the land, if they're actually looking for treasure.
Yeah. Well, if they can find something in the ground that's worth money, it'll attract attract people searching for them. So it's it's an interesting product line. It's something that up to a year and a half ago, I didn't really know this industry was this big and existed, but it's a successful product. So we're navigating now the restaurant industry, and I'm sure they'll launch more products in time to come. But this is their first venture into this industry. And
so you attach these pieces of equipment to garbage cans,
right?
Where's the production? How is it being produced? I mean, is it something that's made here or?
Yes, right. So we have a plastic mold that fits over a standard 32 and 44 round garbage can. And then there's a control device that, is the guts of the unit that detects the metal. We manufacture it in China, the mold, and then it is assembled and the control device is manufactured in Malaysia. So then they assemble it and they're shipping it. We're shipping it out of Naperville, Illinois.
Okay.
And the company is based in Australia.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So-
So this company's worldwide in a sense.
Yeah, we're a global public company.
Wow.
So I have a question for you. I was at about 4 or 5 years ago. I do a lot of work with the brewery side also. And there's 2 companies I saw there. It was the craft brewery convention. It was up in Nashville. I think it's gonna be Nashville this year. And it's sort of similar to what you're doing, is that when you get kegs from your distributor, whatever, I guess there's been a lot of theft on kegs periodically. This company was selling these tracking devices that you put on the kegs. Have you seen those? I can't remember the name.
I have not, but I can understand the technology. You tag them and then you know where they're at.
Yeah, I mean, it was there was also, then also I guess it's also designed to track also how much is left in that keg also. So it has 2 options there. So you can either track it if it goes out that door, and it's supposed to be in a certain place. If it's not where it's supposed to be, then it goes off. But yeah, there was some.
Is that the company we met at the Florida Restaurant Show, that Pure Logic?
Maybe I didn't get too much of a chance to.
They're on the front page of January issue.
Maybe I'll look at it, but I don't know if it was the same company or not. But they put these devices on the kegs and it tracks it. So, but yeah.
If anybody wants to look at it, it's on the front page of trnusa.com. It's right. You can take a look at that. And speaking of which, I am Howard Appel, the founder and publisher of Today's Restaurant News. We've been publishing in one form or fashion since 1996. Up until 2018, we were in print, and in 2018, we went digital. And because we went digital, we were able to come up with some additional services that we provide. Terry is not here right now, but she will be, and she handles the restaurant leads report, which is a report that we send out to vendors, clients, giving them information about what restaurants are under construction and what restaurants have just opened. And we provide that for 2 states, one Florida, one Georgia. And we give you information as to the name of the restaurant, the address, the zip code, the phone number, the contact name, anything you would need to get in to have a warm introduction rather than a cold call. And as we all know, a warm introduction will lead to a sale 80% of the time rather than a cold call, which results in 5% of the time. So that's a really important service that we provide. We also do email blasts where we take your product information and send it out to our database. Depending on your product, we have a database of almost 23,000 now. Over 15,000 are restaurants. And we also do video e-blasts, which we're doing for Ron, showing and giving the information, giving the tale, so the visually. And what else do we do? And we'll put the advertising in the newspaper that stays on our website for the entire month. Okay, anything else anybody want to bring up on the intros? And if you want to reach us, I'm sorry, 561-620-8888 or the website trnusa.com.
I'll add one other thing about my product. It not only do we detect for silverware, but we also have labels that we can put on. They're like stickers, and they could be put on items like ramekins that'll make them detectable as well. So we're saving restaurants, avoiding not only throwing away their flatware or silverware, but also other products like ramekins that are made in perhaps porcelain or melamine or things of that nature.
So what do you put the label on the bottom?
Yeah, it fills on the bottom, and it's, it'll detect those small items that they're throwing away. So a lot of operators are thrilled because they don't have to use disposable ramekins anymore, and the ones that are using them now that use our labels on them, they're saving a ton of money on avoiding throwing those away.
I'm assuming it's dishwasher safe.
It is. It's dishwasher safe, and will go through 3,000 washes.
Okay. Very good. I was reading an article the other day, and I thought it was interesting, and I thought it would be a good topic for conversation here, and interesting for restaurants and suppliers as well. So I want to just give you a quick rundown of the segments of the article, and then we can discuss it. This was all based on marketing research, and the name of the article was 5 Trends That Will Shape the Restaurant Industry in 2023. And I think some of these touch all of us. Number one, I have the number wrong, but number one, the first item is diners will trade down but still value premium experiences. Basically, higher prices will drive consumers to make different choices, but they still expect quality. I mean, I can go through all these one at a time, and then we can discuss the whole thing.
Okay.
So the second one is the tight labor market, which we've talked about many times.
Mhm.
It will make efficiency in the restaurant very vital. Number 3 is smaller menus and dynamic pricing. This is something new to me. We can get into that when it's many chains, many restaurants have reduced the sizes of their menus. and for various reasons, which we can get into. The next one is ghost kitchens will face economic headwind. The craze for having a ghost kitchen seems to have diminished for various reasons, which we'll get into. And the last one is, of course, the supply chain shortages will impact growth plans and operation. We've been talking about that for weeks. So if you like, we can take this one at a time, or you can jump in on any of them. Anybody have anything they want to say before I get into it deeper?
Howard?
Yeah.
You talk about menu. Yeah, I mean, I think items on people are shrinking their menu, and it has a lot to do with like everything falls into place with like labor. They don't have the ability to produce everything. Just cost. I don't know. It's yeah. And then if you look at the menu, I mean, look at the cost on the menu. It's jumped. Like for instance, early in the week, I didn't want to go there, but I was hungry. I went to Moe's, okay, for a basic quesadilla at Moe's was $13. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
It's like, and I was like, so I called my wife and I said, do I really want that quesadilla? So then there was nothing around. So I sucked it up and got it. But it was just like, the cost is just ridiculous. And, but then again, Chris can probably maybe comment on, but like, especially on high end, because, has they shrunk their menus at all?
Well, those costs that you're seeing rising are all part and parcel of all these items that I just mentioned. And the only way that restaurants can fight or maintain their business is to go to a smaller menu. I don't know how, like, there's a lot of diners in Atlanta. I know that, in New York. These diners have well over 100 items on the menu. And what does that do? They've got to keep inventory in the walk-in coolers. They've got to have staff that knows how to run and make these items. By cutting a menu, they can reduce cost and train staff quicker, I'm guessing. What do you think about that, Chris?
Well, also, they're giving more selections rather than just one 12-ounce filet. Oh, we also have an 8-ounce filet, and also in the dessert area of the menu, they are offering smaller portions, but still offering a dessert. I think one of the leaders in that area was Seasons 52, where they give you a shot glass of Oreo cheesecake, for example, and it may only cost $3.95, and because you don't need an $8.95 big old slice of Oreo cheesecake, but you would like to have a nice little something to finish up the meal, and that adds money to the check average that would not be there if people only had one choice. So there's more choices, and also they're getting creative. And if they're smart, they're using Joe Cregan's POS systems to find out what's selling. And rather than just waving their finger in the air and going, "Oh, I guess we're doing a lot on chicken this week." I mean, but a good POS system can save a restaurant a lot of money in terms of how they need to manipulate their menu. The deal is, what Brian experienced with Moe's, it is shocking in a way, but then again, the real shock happened when we all went to the grocery store.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, eggs at Walmart, $5.25 for a dozen eggs. Really? I mean, it's just so the shock hit us at the grocery store, hit you again at the restaurant, but it's not just the restaurants. People know what's going on. They know that
Yeah.
food prices are going through the roof.
Does
So,
anybody have any experience with implementing dynamic pricing? I know that's partially a technological issue. From my understanding of it, from reading this article quickly, dynamic pricing to me sounds like like that steak you mentioned, Chris, for dinner, maybe $22, for example,
yeah,
and at lunch, it may be 17.
right.
And technology is allowing restaurateurs
Yeah.
to change their prices on a moment's notice. And I guess that's what they're calling dynamic pricing.
Even that, they can schedule it. I mean, we can have obviously regular and happy hour pricing, but you can regular happy hour entertainment pricing. You can set multiple price levels per item. And you can set the price level based on quantity or based on time of day, whatever. So most POS systems are capable of doing that. Yeah. And the other thing I'm seeing is mobility. You're going to see, I predict in 3 or 4 years from now, you won't need to give your credit card to a waiter to check out in a restaurant. All of you will be able, most of the major POS systems out there, Clover, Square, Toast, others, and others, and even third-party companies allow you to use your mobile phone to close out your own check. You can just scan the barcode on the check they give you,
Mhm.
and you're on your way. You're not going to have to say, waiter, here's, well, you'll have to say, I need the check, but you're going to be able to close out your own check on credit card right off your smartphone.
Yeah.
Obviously, order and pay at the table. I mean, you can eliminate the labor cost shortage by keeping your servers in the station. All right, reduce the number of servers, giving them the ability to take orders at the table, pay at the table, and of course, use robots or whatever as food runners to deliver the food. So the servers never have to go to the kitchen. All right, to either get the food or even bring the dishes back. So they can really control labor savings by mobile ordering and of course robotics and having food runners.
But also they can save on labor because of the pandemic. Some restaurants had to close at 9 o'clock at night. Now
Mhm.
that the pandemic is in our rearview mirror, some of these places are still closing at 9 o'clock during the week and 10 o'clock on the weekends. And they're realizing incredible savings. And people are kind of used to it. Like, if we're going to have dinner there, we better get there before 9 o'clock. And
Yeah.
that's a positive.
Yeah, and these ghost kitchens, I mean, there's a restaurant near my office, a trained taco guy, I think it is Taco Love or Taco Guy. It's all kiosk.
Yeah.
There are no cashiers. I mean,
Yeah.
just like Panera Bread, there's Taco Love, Taco Guy, I don't remember, you never see a cat. You'll go in and it's all kiosk. There's another place in North Miami, the same thing, all kiosk.
Yeah.
So basically customers are walking in, doing their own ordering and picking up the food. You're gonna see that happening.
You know, real quick, I think I brought this up a while back, but you'd be surprised if one of the major changes has really, the one up on Windward where I live. I don't know if it's the other ones or not, but a Cracker Barrel will be open from 7 to 5. Normally, like 9 to 10, I guess they are, a lot of them, but a lot of them, I guess maybe could be not enough employees, whatever. But it was very shocking. I went there, was taking my parents there about a month or so ago. Show up because you can't come in. It's 4:45. I says, you can come in and look at the gift shop, but we don't have enough staff. So 7 to 5, the Cracker Barrel.
I think that's an isolated issue with them.
Yeah, but it was very shocking to see that. But
Brian, you're saying that, when April and I and the kids go out to eat, we've learned to expect that there's going to be a wait now. The
Mhm.
normal restaurants that that you can walk in, like IHOP or Waffle
Yeah.
House or those restaurants like that, where you can be seated pretty quickly. There's usually a 25, 30-minute wait. And I see so many people getting upset about having to wait. I mean, heck, make your pancakes at home if you don't want to wait.
Yeah.
I mean, it's simple. I mean, it's just a sign of the times. But you guys are talking about ghost kitchens. I don't see a lot of ghost kitchens here in Huntsville unless I'm just not looking in the right place. But what does everybody think about food trucks? Will they continue to thrive, or do you think they're going to be going down the hill soon?
Food trucks have morphed into from being the typical roach coach. When I lived in New York, there was always a roach coach that came to an industrial area at lunchtime, you know, and you didn't want to buy anything that wasn't pre-bottled or pre-packaged. But now you've got first-class chefs who are running food trucks because they don't want to go into a brick and mortar operation. So they start out with a food truck, they test their concept, they test their food, see if they like it, and then they can go into a brick and mortar.
Yeah,
Food trucks are a tremendous trend right now.
they are. I'm working with a client up, a food truck company out of Dawsonville, Georgia. It's been around for years, called Nationwide Concessions. And I'm working on about 3 or 4 projects for them. And what they've done was, for a lot of people that don't have a lot of money and want to scale back, a lot of people are going to food cargo trailers. So we basically have a food cargo trailer, and you're hauling it with a F150 or a F350 truck. So there's some cost savings there, but yeah, I get people from all over the country that looking for financing for these food cargo trailers. And I'm working on one lady that does exotic donuts. She's out of New York, so she's doing some donuts. But yeah, it's that should be somebody I should try to bring on, Howard, see if he'll come on and introduce himself. But yeah, he's there. You should look it up. I'll send you the website. You can look and see. But yeah, food trucks are still a thing. There was a little dip at one time, but yeah, people going more to the cargo thing, a little bit more inexpensive than finding a truck. So
Terry would know what the trends are in restaurants that are opening. I don't know if there's any one particular kind or food trucks popping up. You're on mute, Terry. Still on mute. Figure it out. We'll get back to you.
Howard, who's in charge of your IT in this joint?
Right.
Going on?
I have such a great line, but I'm not going to say it because it'll be a horrible weekend if I say it.
there she is.
Oh, there she is.
Can you see me now? Sorry, can you
Yes.
hear me now?
Yes.
I'm sorry, we're babysitting Howard's son's dog, little puppy, so I didn't want it to bark, which is why I was on mute, so I apologize.
That's okay. I'll bring Brian's dog into it.
I don't see you doing. Anyways, so the best thing in food trucks now that I can honestly say, I have seen some motor coach food trucks that have to be as much at least as much as a small brick and mortar outfit. And some of them have like dining tables where they will open canopies and set the chairs outside. You can dine right there. And they are tremendously welcomed. The food truck parks, that was the thing I wanted to touch on. Brian may know a little bit about that. They are taking vacant lots in between buildings, and they are permanently parking different concept food trucks. And they're putting picnic tables in the middle. If there's no grass, they're using grass that they're bringing in. And it is unbelievable. I mean, these food, you can go from place to place. It's like an indoor, like on Atlantic Avenue where they have the indoor food halls. It's an outdoor food hall is what it is.
Yeah.
Those are super, super popular now and coming in. As a matter of fact, I think I have 3 on my listings. But yeah, that is big. That is big. And when people see food truck, you have to put, well, this is a park of food trucks. And then you can get to the owner that owns the property or
Yeah.
each individual truck.
Another thing, Terry, is they also have partnered up with breweries,
Yes.
because a lot of times
Yeah.
these breweries don't offer, food, so you can go there and have a beer and
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, and you can sit outside. Some of them are very elegant, and I'm pleasantly surprised. Very nice. But
Hey,
in
Folks,
yeah,
I gotta cut out. I've got a meeting here in about an hour I gotta drive to, so just wanted to say bye. Everybody have a great weekend,
Okay.
and we will see y'all next week.
you owe us 5 minutes,
you.
Rick.
Hey, I was here, you were late.
I know. Thank you. I'm sorry about that.
No,
I'm
we
not
understand. You got business to do. It's okay. We understand that. You got a business to run.
You got a
So,
business to run, so we understand. You go and have a good day.
y'all have a good weekend.
Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Neil, what is Comcast doing? Or what trends do you see coming through?
Well, it's funny because I think it was Brian mentioned before, or I think, I'm not sure about the fact you're going to be able to order, the food online and basically never engage with a server. And that's definitely something which we've seen a lot of. Mobile menus, absolutely, more and more, or more, I should say, less interaction with the server. And that's why in our case, it's, the bandwidth is key, as we say, because the more people have devices that are reliant on the bandwidth, the more it's good for us because we provide that product. So it sort of ties in to, to what you're doing with your menus and the electronic availability of that, and the fact that, people don't always want to interact anymore. So, I mean, we're blessed in the sense that we provide a product and then sort of hand it off, and people are able to manage, the Wi-Fi, like I said before. There's built-in marketing tools with some of the products. But yeah, people are ordering from the tables. Menus are getting smaller. I agree with Brian about the prices, ridiculous. So the industries are very, very aligned from what I'm hearing.
Okay, well, I think that some of the items that I mentioned are not the only, obviously not the only trends that are happening. I think the labor shortage and the supply chain issues are all going to create new and better technology.
No, Baxter.
Because everybody's looking to save a buck somehow, and restaurants are fighting for their lives, based on the inflationary prices. So we'll see how it turns.
And I was going to say the inflationary prices on the eggs are due to the millions and millions of chickens that had to be put down. Your chicken prices are insane, and the egg prices are even higher. If this is a worldwide issue with the food problem, it has to do with container ships not being able to get through, with rivers drying up, with all kinds of other things going on. I watch this. If I watch anything, it's YouTube and it's the world news to see what is actually happening. So I'm aware of what to expect. And this year, it is really questionable. So everybody really needs to be vigilant. You got to get out there, do what you can do now while you have the chance, and hope for better days. That's all.
Why were the chickens put down?
The chickens were put down because they had something like, wasn't the bird flu? There's millions. Go on the news, world news, and put down. and put down millions of chickens being put down and you'll get your answer.
Okay.
And it's not just the chickens, it's the cattle. A lot of, that's the beef prices. I went to get a roast, forget it. It's cheaper to go out.
Yeah.
But I know everybody has their programs and shows that they watch. I watch what's going on in the world from top to bottom, so that from the war to the famines to the floods, so I know what to expect. And especially in the food industry, you know, you don't want to bring up anything bad. You don't want to bring up anything negative. Everybody wants a positive 2023, and hopefully it will be.
Well, let me
But
give
you
you
really
a
have
little
to
bit of
be-
positive information. In this article that we were talking about, they predict that the inflationary price increases are going to come down and level out at about 5% for 2023. And they were 8 or 9, 10% in 2022. So
Oh, that's great.
yeah, so the prices should start to level out.
Great.
Well,
That
if you
is
want a
good
good
news.
slice of beef, skirt steak, which it's kind of hard to find, but it's exceptionally tasty. It's $8.50 a pound right now, which is less than a lot of others. And it's not the most pretty steak, but it's, gosh almighty, it's tasty. Called skirt steak.
Oh, I know what it is. I've made it. My son likes the tacos and burritos, asada, and that's skirt steak. So
There's a restaurant in New York that has been there for hundreds of years. That's all they serve.
Really?
Yeah, well, it's something Romanian steakhouse. It's on the Lower East Side. I
oh,
can't.
I remember that, seeing that.
I think they recently closed. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's what they served.
Yeah.
Well,
All right,
anyway,
kids.
anything else? Anybody?
I think inflation is coming down, though. We were at 9% range. I believe yesterday the CPI came out in the 6.5 or so. So I think it's going to continue to drop as we navigate through 2023. So I think come next year, we'll have a different picture to look at.
That'd be great. I
Yeah, well-
certainly hope so.
I think it's coming, you know, but every month shows a little bit of an improvement.
As long as
Good.
we get rid of those 87,000 IRS agents, that's fine by me.
Yeah, well, we don't need them bothering us anyway, so it's not my problem.
Exactly.
Well, I guess we've come to the end of our time. As you can see, the experience that even a small group today has is hundreds of years of experience and knowledge in the industry. And we encourage restaurateurs, managers, or chefs to give us a call if they have an issue or a problem or something that they need to get solved. Call us at 561-620-8888. And I want to thank Ron Weber from Silver Saver Company for coming today, and Neil Morgan from Comcast. We thank you both for coming. And
Thank you for having me.
Oh, our pleasure. We hope you'll see you again. And everybody else, thanks for coming. We'll see you all next week. Have
All
a
right,
great
we'll see you.
weekend.
All right,
Joe,
take care.
go get your batteries fixed, Joe.
Have a good weekend.
It's a new hairspray.
Yeah, exactly.
Bye.
I'll just
All
use my language.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.